Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of Paws and Hooves News. So for this episode, as I'm sure you've seen by the title, we're going to be discussing my car. I'm fine, I'll add that now. I was not actually in the car when it happened. My car, when it crashed, had no one inside of it. So it technically crashed itself. What I'll do, I'm going to pop a video in here and I'm going to just briefly explain what happened, and I'll then show you the damage that it has caused. So my car was parked in that empty spot next to the grey van. The grey van is the one I actually crashed into, so bear that in mind. So my car was parked in that space there. Something must have happened to it because it got from that space and it rolled. And it rolled and it rolled all the way back to that curb where the van was parked. Now, I'm sure you're going to be wondering, cars just don't roll away when they're parked. Well, what happened was, parked my car up, popped the handbrake on, came home. It was about an hour later that my neighbour then knocked on my door asking if I had anything valuable in the car, which I hadn't, so I said no, which she then explained that she had heard a crash and she came out to see what was wrong, and my car had moved and she was watching a white car speed down that road, as if fleeing a scene, was her words. I then looked and found my car impaled on this truck. What we have as a neighbourhood kind of pieced together is that the white car that sped away likely either hit the back of my car but not enough to do too much damage, which then released the handbrake, causing my car to roll backwards, or the white car had people in there who were trying to steal the very cheap tripod that I have in my car, tried to get into the car, in fiddling around with it, released the handbrake, at which point the car rolled backwards, hit the truck. Either way, we still don't know how the car came to roll backwards. I mean, it was happily parked for a full hour and then it suddenly rolled backwards. Thankfully, my car is light, otherwise it could have caused probably a bit more damage, and no one was hurt. So at the end of the day, it's only cosmetic damage to my car and the truck. What I'll do, I'm going to pop some pictures of the crash after it happened. Sorry I didn't take any videos for you guys. I was in a bit of shock seeing my poor car impaled on the corner of a steel truck. So I'll insert those here for you now. As you can see, my car is not meant to be parked there. What's happened is the corner, there's a little bumper that comes out from the truck, and it is literally gone straight through my car's back bumper. Now, thankfully there's no mechanical compartments in there. It is only a hollow bit of plastic meant to protect the car, which it has done its job, so thankfully for the Fiat Panda design. The truck, on the other hand, came off with a broken light and a bit of a dent. So not much else that I can say there. We cleaned up the glass. They're now going to get a quote for the repairs, and we're going to take it to the insurance from there. Unfortunately, I now have a bit of a hole, as you can see, in my poor car. Whether I get it repaired or not, I'll have to see. But for now, she has a bit of a more aerodynamics, I should say. It's not too bad, as you can see, just plastic. Nothing in there is any component based. So yeah, so unfortunately she suffered her injury caused by her own self. So yeah guys, that is the explanation of how my car crashed itself. It went from being parked perfectly happily in a normal space to rolling backwards, given no influence by myself, into the truck behind it. I mean, it probably rolled a good 10 meters, so it had picked up a bit of speed, hence why it created such a big hole. But other than that, everything else is plodding along as normal, I should say. Horses are fine today. They didn't care that my car had crashed. They don't care about matters like that. Most of the time, all they want is food. So I'll insert a few clips of them today just so you can see that they're getting on okay. But yeah, they didn't really care. They didn't even notice. But they did cheer me up after the accident yesterday. So it's nice to have them because They put things in perspective. At the end of the day, it's a hole in my car. I'd rather have a hole in my car than an injury or a vet spill with the horses. But yeah, I'll set a few clips for them now, so you know that they're getting on okay. So Hagrid coming down for his food today. It's quite a nice sunny day today, as opposed to the rain you saw in my previous video. But yeah, he's quite happy. He's looking forward to having his food, given that it's winter. If you are interested in what I feed Hagrid, please comment in the sections below, and I will happily let you guys know. He's just there to give him weight gain in the winter, really. Hello there, Tiny. As you can see, she's happily waiting for me to move the fence for her. Come on, go back so I can get in the gate. Yeah, she doesn't actually get fed. She's quite a good doer. She keeps her weight quite happily. So we just kind of move the fence for them so she has something to eat on. Hello there, Tiny. She's looking quite good, if not a bit muddy. As I said, the sun's out, but we do have a mud issue here in the UK at the moment, having had such a wet winter. So I have now moved the fence. As you can see, she's quite happily eating the grass there. They get a good 3-foot strip every day of grass normally, kind of just keeps them something to munch on, keeps them grazing naturally. As you can see, she's got quite enough weight, so it seems to be working quite well this winter. But she's happily enjoying herself, doesn't care the car's crashed, as you can clearly see. She's not worried about that at all. So that's it for today's episode there, guys. As you can see, quite an interesting Monday night. Don't know what's going to be happening for the rest of the week, but I'll keep you guys updated if anything else happens. Hopefully no more crashes. But thank you once again for watching. If you have any comments, please put them below. Feel free to like and subscribe, and I'll see you again for another episode of Paws and Hooves News.